Hi, how are you? Forgive me. I'm driving in my car. I'm on my way to get a facial done. But in any case, I wanted to come on here to kind of add on to my last video of why, right? Answering our why, which is so important when it comes to getting to know ourselves. So oftentimes in this journey, when we're working on our past, we get caught up and distracted by the what. What caused me to feel this way? What is the memory that I can't seem to retrieve? And depending on how we're utilizing that strategy, it can be beneficial, but I personally view that as more of a distraction. I don't think the what is as important as the why, okay? Because we can lose ourselves for years on trying to understand the what's, and then when we realize what happened, if we don't already have it on the forefront of our mind, we often lose ourselves in the why did that happen versus the why as in how it's impacting my life in the here and now. Hope that makes sense. And I say it's a distraction because when we're chasing the why, especially if someone else was involved, which honestly, like 8 times out of 10, it is someone else that's involved in some level. What we're trying to understand is their rationale, which is a total distraction because it's not our job to understand why people do what they do, or why they feel what they feel, or believe what they believe, because that's us getting out of our lane, quite truthfully. People are where they need to be in their life just as much as you are where you need to be in your life. So when we get distracted with why people do what they do versus the why we do what we do, which is the only place that we have any control over. And I don't like to use the word control so much because control in a lot of ways can be a fairly toxic idea, if you will, because there's very little that we actually can control. And honestly, it's not even that we need to control it. We just need to understand it so that we can pivot accordingly in our lives. Okay? And what I mean by that is if we need to change a behavior, or if we, and not even need, but like if we find that it's more beneficial for us if we engage in a different way. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. That we can control in a sense. But I also call that being more in the flow, being present in the here and now, so that you can discern those opportunities more appropriately. Let's put it that way. So the what to me is not as important as the why. And not even the why about that situation, but why about why do I respond this way, or why do I feel this way, or why do I believe this way, without losing ourselves in the distraction of the minutia of it, okay? The things that we can't actually impact. Whenever we dig into ourselves or into the past in any way, we need to remember that we cannot change the past regardless of what we learn in the present. We cannot impact the past in that sense. We can impact the past with regards to how we now feel about it, and that's called healing, right? We can heal the past by sitting with it, as long as we're not being distracted by it and losing ourselves in that endless rabbit hole of, you know, there's a metaphor, analogy really, about what that actually equates to in reality. And it said something like, if you get bit by a snake, it's similar to trying to, instead of going and getting the healing and the care that you need, it's losing yourself and trying to find the snake and understand why they bit you in the first place. How does that help? All it does is get us stuck. And I have a whole series on stuck. So go look at it if you have any questions on stuck, because there's a lot of things that can get us stuck. But ultimately, the why is more important with regards to our belief systems and our experiences with regards to how it impacts us and the choices we can make in order to come out of that. Don't lose yourself in the what or the why of somebody else. Concern yourself more with your own whys, and you'll find that you'll make far more progress. All right, sorry that this, I don't even know how this is going to turn out, but I hope the message comes across, and I'm wishing you all well. Talk soon. Bye.